Um, we can leave that to the end, I guess. Do you want to start off with football? Because like I don't have anything to say about the Giants, but there's always NFL talk.
Yeah, let me just get this
Um,
pepper out of my teeth. That's gross.
maybe NFL Mets and then Isles for the poor people who actually listen. No one cares about hockey. Um, I'm gonna do the same thing. There we go.
Should have done it before I got on air, right?
All good. We're just live here. There's only 200 people in the room so far. So
Right. Hey, mom. Hey, dad. Oh, dad, you're definitely not watching. But hey, mom, you're
might
also
be.
not watching. Yeah, he probably is watching. All right, let's get this party rolling. I like where your head's at.
Nice.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of This Is Our Year.
Happy New Year edition.
Happy New Year edition. And that's why I can actually say this is our year.
Hell yeah, brother.
I'm not saying this is not our year anymore. This is our year. Because it's 2024.
It's ours.
Hope is eternally sprung upon the changing of the New Year guard. And we got some old bullshit to wrap up from 2023. We got some stuff that's like mid 2023 that's moving into 2024 that's fairly positive. We got some stuff from 2023 that's moving into 2024 that's not as positive.
Oh, we mostly all still suck here.
We all still suck.
But we're actually, yeah, I would disagree with that. But we're in a good mood, man.
Okay.
I don't want to do a doom and gloom episode.
No, it's a new year. Let's do it. That's
right.
We're going to talk some shit.
Yeah.
We're going to talk some shit.
Always.
So let's put to bed.
Let's talk some shit. What's the worst movie you saw this year?
The worst movie that
I'm trying to think of my pick.
The worst movie that I saw. I just watched Rebel Moon Part 1 with the Zack Snyder space one.
Yeah.
It was okay. It wasn't terrible, but
was it all just like sexed up? Like that's his style, right?
No, it was like Zack Snyder's like he does all like the DC like Justice League shit.
Didn't he do some movie where it was like a bunch of hot ladies killing Nazis? It was pretty great and pretty problematic.
I can tell you that this movie was okay. It wasn't great, but the worst movie I saw in 2023.
This is a bad question because I'm kind of blanking now that I brought it up.
No, but you don't have one?
We were going to hate. We can expand it to TV shows. Maybe that'll help me.
TV shows, no.
See, I don't watch too many movies, and I'll bail on shit I don't like. So I'm trying to remember like what I pulled the plug on.
So I will watch a movie even if it's bad from start to finish because I'm like I gotta know what happens at the end. So if I bail on a movie, it was
really bad.
Yeah, and
I don't think I finished Extraction, but that's not an insult. I think I just forgot to finish Extraction 2 or whatever with
that was pretty bad though.
Yeah.
I will say this is a movie that I will say, and I don't know if it came out in 2023, but I think it did.
Yeah.
And Transformers, the new one, like Beasts of the whatever.
I've heard that's sucked ass.
Dude, I've watched every single Transformers, and they are what they are. It's like the Fast and the Furious. If you're getting into watching it to like because you want it to be some like great storyline and like some realistic shit, then it's the wrong movie. You're watching a movie about alien robots.
Are you telling me Fast isn't real?
Like
the things that happened
a long time ago. But so, dude, I did watch Fast and the Furious like 12 or whatever it was. That was okay. I did.
I didn't see it, but I'm sure it's fine.
Those
are hard to screw up, right?
They got what's the guy's name? That's Aquaman. He was the bad guy, and then they tied the storyline together like. Yeah, Jason Momoa. And they tied the storyline together like fine enough that it made sense to like bring this guy in. But it was pretty bad. And I will watch really bad Fast and Furious movies repeatedly because
I will too.
I don't care. But
Jenny was doing the marathon recently. I was proud of her.
I own every single one of them on Apple. And I tried to get out. I had Alex watch the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe from start to finish with me, to the point where she now will when the new movie comes out, want to go see it in the theaters, which mission accomplished for me, right? But I tried to get her to do that with
That's some good brainwashing, man.
With Fast and the Furious, and she was like,
"Okay."
No. I said, "Okay," but
I respect the Transformers decision.
No, she was Fast and Furious. I didn't even ask for Transformers, but I also own every single Transformers movie that was ever made.
She might like Fast.
She might like one or two of them, but I mean, it's the same fucking movie, like just with a different stupid ending. And and then Paul Walker dies halfway through Tier.
Spoiler.
Yes, but I think everyone knew that. But I tried to watch the Transformer Beasts of the Unknown or whatever, and it had like Pete Davidson was the main character, and I don't know, man,
really?
They just made like they totally revamped it for the third time. Like they went from Shia LaBeouf,
like LaBeouf is gone, way gone.
He's been gone. Then it was Wahlberg. It was Mark Wahlberg.
Oh God, that's right.
Now he's gone. Those weren't great, but now it's the guy. I don't know what his fucking name is. He's in Hamilton. He's in like. And it's like a throwback. It's like from the 90s. So I will say that was kind of cool because it had a lot of the music. It had a lot of 90s hip hop, New York City, like Wu-Tang and like Biggie and I forget. I think they had Mobb Deep was in. Like the soundtrack was good.
It got some Big L. Like they went deep.
Yeah, the soundtrack was good, but it was Pete Davidson, and he was just like trying so hard to be funny.
Yeah,
as a Transformer,
he kind of like winks at the camera the whole time, like I get a load.
Well,
he
was an alien robot, so so it was just the voice of him.
Okay,
so it was just I don't know what happens at the end. I couldn't finish it. It was fucking pretty good. I should probably do that.
My pick, I don't know if this is this year, but and I hate that this is my pick because I actually love this dude. I subscribe to his newsletter. My brother told me his book is amazing. Arnold's series Fubar was the biggest piece of shit I've probably ever like devoted time to. I don't watch too many things, but like, he tried to put on like an action comedy series on like Prime.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. Or Hulu. Okay. And I was like, I'm going to check this out. It's Arnold. Huge Arnold fan. And it might've been written by like the ChatGPT version that wasn't ready for a release. Like the writing is so awful that I couldn't get past it. It was just such like paint by numbers and stereotypes, and it's bad. So I think everybody agrees with me because no one even knows what the hell I'm talking about.
I have no clue what you're talking about. But speaking of ChatGPT, so
by the way, I'm drinking my usual 800% stout from Connecticut. I haven't gotten out. I've been like inside the house, so I'm running low. I'll get to the no. You want me to take the national tour? I like that tour.
Yes,
I'll get to work soon.
Can we start like you're in Connecticut? Can we go like Can you start in Maine and like do the seaboard and come around and then go to
I will try
Middle America. I think
I like it.
That means we're doing at least 50 more episodes, and then if you can find a Puerto Rico beer, then that's 51.
Well,
right, and then we can get into Canada, and you can do some. We can go international with this shit.
Oh yeah, we can have a triple X Molson. Is it triple X or double X? I forget. It's been so long.
X.
Yeah, triple. Ooh,
triple X.
Yeah, we can have that for the playoffs. Hopefully,
Hopefully, I like that.
Wow, what was I saying? Shit. Yeah, I lost track. Anyway, cheers.
You were just saying cheers about the beer, and you're talking about the Arnold movie, and then I was about to segue into a funny story that happened this week. So I have a sales team in my real job, because Lord knows if we were doing this for a real job, we would be broke and bankrupt by now.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Totally.
So, as you can see, Douglas, what is this right here on my wall?
That is a well-known homosexual with his casted girlfriend. I'm sorry. That is, of course, Top Gun.
She is also a lesbian in real life. Isn't that funny? But neither here nor there. So
Scientology, man,
gets the best of them.
Well-known Scientologist on your board, yes.
Yes. So this is
prominent.
Top Gun. What do you feel about this movie?
Oh shit! I'm the worst. I suck. I still haven't seen the new one.
This is the old one, though. I'm talking about.
I know. No, the old one is right in the middle of my nostalgia zone. I was like 9 or 10 when I first saw it. You were too.
Right.
So as kind of silly as that movie is, and I've heard all the arguments of how like bad it is too.
It's so bad. It is
yeah,
so bad. It's
exactly.
Good.
But like most of the stuff from that era is that like it was sort of made sincerely, but that era was just kind of ridiculous.
Right. Like 80s Hollywood was just
cocaine
and corny. Yes.
But endless funds, right? They were just like
didn't care.
Let's go over the top. Let's blow everything up.
Right.
And they could finally show like more skin, so it was a really horny era too.
Let's have this random like beach volleyball in jeans topless scene, and then
something for the ladies.
And then he's gonna like jump on his motorcycle and ride to his like random girlfriend's house, who he's not quite his girlfriend yet, and he's just gonna be like, "Hey, you mind if I take a shower here?" Yeah, okay.
I mean, that you weren't doing that when you were 24. No, that was me down in the Cove in Stanford.
Yeah, riding your fucking Kawasaki Ninja and topless.
riding my Vespa back to my 6 roommates and my cat.
Right. And not showering for 3 days, even if you did play beach volleyball.
I would just sleep in a pile of empty Bud Light boxes down in that basement.
When I helped Jed move out of that apartment with you guys, I mean, we moved his bed, and there was more cat turds under his bed than I've seen in my entire life.
I love Jed, but yeah, it was a bad scene. The cat was not housebroken at all. we thought it was, and
house smells like urine. So anyway, we're way off topic here, but speaking of Chat GPT.
Oh, right.
I'm 44 now, and my whole sales team has gone from millennials to Gen Zers,
whatever we're calling them.
Yeah, and so Chat GPT now, like, I don't know how anyone's gonna like. We are definitely on a collision course to be idiocracy in the next like 20 years.
No one reads.
No one's going to read anything anymore, and they're just going to go to ChatGPT to write all their fucking papers. It's probably already happened. Yeah. So anyway, I tell everyone in my sales team, you have to watch Top Gun if you haven't watched it, and you have to write me a 1-page book report, double spaced, fucking, it's like 250 words, right? Like,
all right.
like one page.
You're still kind of a dick though. Like,
I mean, I just want to make sure that the youth knows how bad this movie was, right?
Okay.
And so my millennials.
Are you tying this into like how to sell, or are you just giving them a random assignment?
This is a random asshole assignment because I'm the boss. This is the only one random asshole assignment because I'm the boss. But
you make them do a lot of charity. Not that that's a bad thing, but
they get paid for the charity work they do. Everyone gets paid for the charity work they do. Oh. You can't force.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah. That's not true. Everyone gets paid for most of the charity work that they do. It's like overtime, if you're volunteering hours, we will give you money. We've also since like,
oh, cool.
We're going down a rabbit hole here.
Yeah. Sorry,
sometimes.
Man. So that's what we do.
Oh, you get paid, you make.
No, we go down rabbit holes here on this show.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than talking about the fucking Jets, right? But we're about to do that too. So, I make them write these book reports, right? And so my millennial sales manager started 6 years ago, and the other millennial sales account manager, she started maybe 3 or 4 years ago. So one of them hasn't even written the book report because she refuses to do the assignment, but the other one did it, and she did like
which is reasonable, by the way.
Yeah, I mean,
you're allowed to say no to that.
Am I going to fire you? Okay,
right. That's fodder for the lawsuit.
Just annoying. But so the salesman, it's all in good fun, right? So I make them watch the movie. It's 2 hours of their life, and they write a book report. So
all of them had never seen it.
No, because they're all women, and it's like it is a misogynistic.
It certainly is.
Yes, 80s movie that only people from our era can appreciate, because we understand, we grew up, every movie was like that, and some of them were beautiful, right? So I make them write it. The first one does it. She does like a running Instagram or TikTok
cool.
video, sprawling video, making fun of me for making her watch it.
Good.
Bravo.
That's exactly what you get.
Right. And I am all for it. I'm like, bravo.
Nice.
Like, you got an A+. So then the
I give you an A+ for being a sport.
Yeah, exactly. And so then the Gen Zers, they're like 23 and 24. I tell them to write it. Do you know what they did? They fucking didn't watch the movie, and they Chat GPT did. And I'm like,
and you can immediately tell.
Yeah, but I'm fairly certain you Chat GPT this, but and it's funny because the two of them, they were very similar. So they were like, write a 1-page book report for
we watched Top it Gun. Together.
Yes, well they handed them in like 3 weeks different time apart, but
whoops.
So they clearly didn't. But I got to give them credit because if you're smart enough to Chat GPT a fucking book report that I gave you and took 10 minutes to do, then who's better than you? Another A and another A.
Yeah.
So,
okay. There's a lesson. I'm not sure what the lesson here is. My daughter's going to
be writing her fucking book reports in 3rd grade with ChatGPT in fucking 10 years. It's going to be great.
What's going to be great is when like the data that ChatGPT is dipping from is its own data, and then it just keeps dipping and dipping, and it turns into a telephone, and then our entire society collapses. Woohoo!
Idiocracy. Did you see the news that came out that a robot at the Tesla plant in Austin like attacked a human?
Oh, thank God! Let's go. Yeah. Let's speed this up here.
Yeah, dude. But then we'll never know if the Mets win another World Championship or not. I guess put us out of our misery, right? Yes.
I mean, can the robots be a number 2 starter when it's not killing Musk employees?
I don't know.
How is its spin rate?
I mean, it probably won't go on the DL for. Actually, we'd probably get the first robot that needed Tommy John surgery.
Turns out.
Wait, I thought we weren't doing doom and gloom. Stop.
No, this is funny doom and gloom.
Yes, definitely. So, I'm getting old, Doug. I have to tell you.
Yeah.
I am 44 years old, and
I'm having whole like gray patches in my beard show up.
Dude, I could fucking be Santa Claus.
No, you got it. Yep.
So I pinched a nerve in my back. Yeah. This is all gray. I pinched a nerve in my back and like debilitating.
Sorry.
Like, have you ever done that before?
Yeah. Or something popped once and I could barely walk for like a day or two.
So I pinched a nerve in my back. It was like shooting down my arm. Yeah. This whole part of my trap was fucking like so tight. I couldn't look up. I couldn't look down. I can barely still. It's just like this happened on Monday.
Well, welcome to your first. I got my first in my early 40s too. I'm 45 now, but like, a couple of years ago.
Yeah. And so
just out of nowhere, right? Like I was reaching down to do something and
like I was like, I want to tell you, Doug, that I was playing hoops and like dunked on like somebody playing like beer league softball, and I fucking crushed a home run. You know what I did?
Mm-hmm.
I fucking was sleeping. I was sleeping.
You know what I did? I was flushing the toilet.
Okay.
Tall people problems.
Oh my goodness, dude. Oh my God. Fucking pinched a nerve in my neck.
Yeah.
Sleeping on my neck the wrong way. And you pinched a nerve flushing it must have been a big
flushing the toilet. Nope. It was I remember it clearly. It was that year that we finally started coming out and like going outside. So it's probably like late 2020, I want to say.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. 21. They're all the same to me, right? But like I was like, oh man, I'm going to visit my parents for the first time in like 4 months. And they're only up the road, right? So like it was kind of like, oh, this is like, it's a big day. Oh, look, let me use the bathroom real quick before I run down to the car. In bed for 2 days, as you said. Like I just couldn't move. Oh, sorry, Mom and Dad. Dude.
Yeah.
I was like, Jenny. I dragged myself into the bed, and then I was the biggest bitch for like 2 or 3 days.
Oh, dude.
God bless her.
Dude, as men, we are the protectors, maybe the providers, depending on what house.
We also can't handle pain.
Oh my God, dude. I like was sleeping. So the first night was hell. The second night was hell. I went to bed yesterday. I went to the chiropractor. She got me all straightened out. And like I was feeling good. I was like, oh, I think it's going to be gone by tomorrow morning. I go to bed, no problem. I wake up at like 4:50 this morning. And like my arm's already in the air. I'm like stretching. But one of those stretches where you like you like strain your muscle because you're stretching so hard.
You're like, oh, whoa, don't do that. Yeah,
that's what I woke up to this morning, and the dog was like freaking out because I don't know, I was like jumped out of bed, and my wife was like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I just fucking popped my back again. Oh, I can't breathe." And I'm like freaking out, and she has to like massage me at 5 o'clock this morning. So
two babies in my house.
Thank you, Alejandra, for putting up with my bullshit this morning. You are the best.
Yep.
You are the best.
So speaking of big babies, has Zach Wilson played his last game as New York Jet?
Good segue. It seems that way. I don't know, man. I can't. I don't care. Like, this year has been such an utter mitigated disaster, and like the New York media is just. I'm glad I don't live there anymore. They are the worst. They just pile on everything, and like, I guess it's cool to.
That's what the Post does.
That's what everyone does, though. Like, even like their beat writers, like Rich Cimini is a fucking loser. Like, all he wants to do is shit on everything the Jets do. And it's all about who gives you the story. It's not about like reporting what's good or bad. Like, Rich Cimini just wants to shit on because he liked Mike Maccagnan, because Maccagnan was his fucking mole that would give him all the stories. And now Douglas didn't give him any stories. So he hates the Jets.
Who cares? I mean, I used to hear this about Minaj. Yeah.
Yeah. Minaj.
He's still around?
No, he's been canceled. That guy he's tried to come back. He's like Kevin. I think he's got more burner accounts than Kevin Durant. So he's bad. He's bad. Everyone
weird.
hates Andy. Everyone hates Andy Martino.
Yep.
He's a snake. Like an SNY.
Well, he used to be the Alderson mouthpiece, though, right?
Right.
Or the Wilpon mouthpiece.
I mean,
he might not have that anymore.
One and the same. He doesn't.
Not that I care.
well, he had it because it was owned by the Wilpons owned SNY, right? And now they don't own both. I don't know.
And most teams usually have one, like most GMs have like one beat guy they talk to, right?
Well, most fucking cities only have one beat guy, right? Like that's what my gripe is with New York. It's like there's probably 70 fucking guys for all the teams. That's
a good thing, though. You don't want to only have like one media source.
I don't disagree with you, but the problem is when the Jets are this bad for the 13th year in a row, there's nothing to write except negative story upon negative story upon negative.
What are they supposed to write? Is the beef with like the questions to the coaches and the team? Because like the analysis is the analysis. They fucking sucked forever.
So I guess here's my point. Like, you built your whole offseason around bringing in this Hall of Fame quarterback and building the team around what he wanted it to be. Right. And you've got him here and you've got everything. And he fucking tore his Achilles on the 4th play of the season. And you had to thrust the number 2 pick, who was a flop to the date, he was supposed to sit the bench and learn for the next 2 years. And he had to like pick up, like, he didn't even get to take a breath. And the kid.
But he had been a starter for 2 years. It's not like he'd never played football.
I know, dude, but like the way that the NCAA treats quarterbacks and the way that the NFL treats quarterbacks and rushes them,
it sucks.
It's dude, there are quarterbacks that we don't know how good they could have been.
We'll never know.
Like, if Zach Wilson went to San Francisco, do you think he would not be playing as well as Brock Purdy? I think he would. I think the problem is that the Jets were so bad when we drafted him, and we didn't fix the offense. We never fixed the offensive line.
Thank you. I was going to say, if Rodgers doesn't pop his heel, he's getting killed anyway by that line. It was not looking good. He would not have lasted.
Mekhi Becton is a bust. He is gone after this year. He's been nothing but a headache. Our right tackle was supposed to be Mekhi Becton, Dwayne Brown. So I blame Joe Douglas for this, and that is where you can give him some flack. He did not, and when he traded for Rodgers, he had to flip first-round picks, and he went from 14 to 16, and the Packers went to 14, and the Patriots were at 15. And the fucking Patriots traded down with the Steelers at 17, and they took Broderick Jones, who everyone knew the Jets were going to take. He was the 4th lineman, and they didn't have a chance. So then they fucking take this guy, Will McDonald, who played literally like 10% of the snaps this year.
At a position that you guys are kind of stacked at. Like,
not kind of. We are stacked
like
at.
Very,
so it was.
Yeah, I was trying to be kind.
Was it a panic move at the time? They tried to sell it. He was the number 1 pass rusher and a top 20 guy. He has
value over need, right?
Right. And I think that's how Douglas, he came from the Ravens. That's what they do. They take the best guy at the best value, right? On their board. And he stayed true to his board. And it was a really, I don't know, man. If you were bringing, I don't know if we had Rodgers at that point. So I don't know. I'm not a GM. I wish I was. I don't know.
I mean, another receiver would have helped too, but maybe not if there's no line. So,
right.
Back to the quarterbacks, though. You raised a really good point about these rookie contracts and the chances these guys get. What's going to be really interesting is what the Bears do. Will they keep Fields around and reap the benefits of having that 1 overall pick and trade down and get a bounty, or are they going to hit reset again?
They're going to hit reset again. They're going to hit reset again because
that's
okay. They're going to have to pay. I mean, it's economics, dude. They're going to have to pay Fields one way or the other next year.
Yes,
right.
But that defense is kind of ready to roll right now. Like, are we what? Are we sure Caleb's going to just pick it up and lead into playoffs next year?
I don't know, but
you think they have to take that gamble?
I think by resetting with the quarterback. First of all, let's start here. Fields doesn't impress me. He can run, but his arm, he's got a great arm, but his release is long. They still haven't quite, figured him out. Yes, DJ Moore has helped him become more competent, but like the Bears offense isn't great. He's looked better since he's gotten back from his injury, 2 or 3 weeks ago.
He's played like 30 games total in his career. Yeah.
Right.
Maybe a little more than that.
But like, I don't know, man. Like,
yeah.
I don't.
No, look, I'm not like trying to argue for it. I'm just saying it's interesting.
I don't know. Like wherever he goes, I don't know what he.
Right, but like,
is he going to be?
You're
Derek
talking
Carr?
about that getting discarded. Like guys like Fields might get discarded. It's a tough business, man. Yeah, I'm not complaining about it. I'm just like making an observation. That's
yeah. So, and I'm just telling you the problem, and the audience. The problem is that it's the economics, right? Like as a quarterback. When you go into unless even like look at Daniel Jones. Like Daniel Jones was terrible for 4 years. He got mostly terrible for 4 years. He was a league average or below league average for 4 years, right?
Agreed.
Let's not call him terrible, but he's a mediocre.
At times, very terrible. Yeah,
yeah, he's a mediocre to slightly below average quarterback as a starting quarterback as a 6th pick.
He's a low ceiling guy for sure.
Correct, and he's got some capabilities. I think Daboll brought the best out of him and tried to turn him into Josh Allen light, but he's not capable of absorbing the hits that Allen took because he's not quite as big as Allen. He's I think as tall as Allen, but I think he's a lot slighter build. Like he's not like Allen's like a linebacker.
Allen also doesn't have to play in the Meadowlands.
I mean, true. Both starting quarterbacks pretty much out for the year after week 5. So
non-contact injuries,
right? And then the backup quarterbacks both. Yep. I mean, we're both on basically our 3rd string quarterback at points in time.
Anyway, like the Chicago Bears have never developed a quarterback. It's just like, good luck, guys. Go back to the wheel. And honestly, the Jets, you guys are obviously in the same position.
We've never the last quarterback we slightly developed was Chad. We developed Chad Pennington. I think he was a capable quarterback, but he got injured, and we'll never know.
The fact that he's still mentioned is just like the thing that proves my point.
Right, like
it's been so bad.
Mark Sanchez, that team won in spite of him. He was terrible, and we've never returned to the playoffs since he left.
Right.
So, I guess again another rabbit hole. In general, the Bears are probably going to draft a quarterback because they don't want to pay Fields $30 million a year, which is what you're going to have to pay him on a new contract. And I guess he's going into he's got 2 more years of control, right? He's only in his 3rd
I don't
year
remember that. I think this is
Fields,
his 3rd year, yeah.
I think Fields was drafted the same year as Zach.
So theoretically 2 more years if the team likes him.
So you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe that's not terrible because you got him under his rookie contract next year, and then you got to give him the 5th year option, which is still not terrible.
And you got to think Poles and Eberflus are trying to keep their jobs. I don't know if resetting with a quarterback is the way to do that, but whatever. Who cares about the Bears? Back to the Giants. I'll throw this out there. I hope Michael Penix Jr. has balls out on Monday and somehow like jumps into like the top 5 because the Giants are probably picking around 5, give or take.
Dude,
if we could get 4 quarterbacks up there. Woo-wee.
I mean, dude, there's Caleb's probably going to go 1. Although I've seen him play. I've watched a lot of Caleb Williams. Not impressed. I think the guy he thinks he's better than he is, and I'm not a huge fan of Caleb. Drake May, I think, may be the best quarterback in the draft. I haven't seen Daniels.
Yeah, I haven't watched
Daniels
yet.
From LSU, but he won the Heisman, and they think he's got the biggest upside, like more like an Anthony Richardson.
Yes,
from last year's draft,
which I really is probably loved. Yeah. Is that a Shane guy? I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know if he's a Shane guy, but I think I
guess we're going to find out who a Shane guy is.
I mean, Jalen was saved by Shane, right? So, right? Is that what we're talking about? Are we talking about the same Shane? Who's Shane?
Oh, Joe Shane. I'm sorry. The Giants GM.
I thought you were talking about Shane, the head coach of the Colts. That was
Steichen. No, I'm not that familiar. I'm not that personal with Shane Steichen. I don't.
So, I don't know, man. I think his name's Jalen Daniels.
Yeah.
But I will say I watched the Texas-Washington game, and I've watched a little bit more Huskies games being on the West Coast. And Michael Penix, I'm looking into a story, played 4 years at Indiana, and he's torn each ACL, and he's had issues with both shoulders.
Yeah,
because he ran a lot. But watching that game on Monday night,
what a night, by the way. I was really under the weather, but incredible. Go ahead.
I don't care about college football, and I was I tuned in, but I will say he reminds me all the bullshit Deshaun Watson. He reminds me of college Deshaun Watson, and
Penix,
everyone was kind of
we're talking about
Penix, and everyone was low on him. Deshaun, if you remember, people were mixed on him. They weren't low on him. People were mixed on him, and then the Texans
people were mixed on Lamar too.
Right. Well, Lamar almost fell out of the first round because he fell because he was really bad. He got really bad scores on his Wonderlic test. One of the lowest
that's
of all
right.
Time. And so they didn't know if he could process. And he's proving everyone wrong yet again. Yep. Fuck you, pay me, and let me show you what I can do. Okay.
Thanks, Getty.
Could have
jumped up.
You know what he does? That's what the Ravens are so good at. But he extends the play so long that receivers just get open, and that's why he's so impossible to game plan for.
All the good quarterbacks do that now.
Right. So Penix has got the escapability. He's got the ability to run. He doesn't like to do it as much, but he's got a cannon for an arm. And, dude, he can put it anywhere he wants to put it. He's pretty fucking accurate.
So what's the question? Durability?
It's totally durability.
Yeah, okay.
He's going to be off of people's boards because of his knees alone, I'm sure.
I forget what his size is, and we don't need to break down the draft today.
He's 6'3".
Oh, he's a big dude. Okay.
220. He's not small. He just ran so much at Indiana because I don't think they had much of a team around him, And then he went to Washington, and for the last 2 years has, taken them to the promised land. I think they could win it all against Michigan.
Who you got this weekend, Buffalo or Miami?
I think Buffalo's going to pull it out. I think Miami.
I do too.
The choke artist of choke artists, and Buffalo has not looked good.
No.
But Buffalo's been in the big game before. In Miami.
This is their shot, man. The window's kind of open, right? With the Bengals down, the Chiefs look beatable.
Already closed, man.
All right. Who do you like in the AFC then?
In the AFC, Baltimore. Baltimore has beat the brakes off of every team that they played this year.
Can Lamar finally do it in the playoffs?
I don't see why. I mean, who does he have to? They're going to have to go through Baltimore because they got the number one seed. Yeah, their defense is playing lights out. Their offense has been playing lights out.
Are they scared of the Chiefs? You're saying they're not scared of the Bills?
The Chiefs have never had to play a tough road game.
That's right.
Mahomes has never played a tough road playoff game. I don't think he's ever played a road playoff game, except for at the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, that doesn't count.
That doesn't count. And
all right.
And I can say if the Bills get in, Allen looks kind of lost at times. Bringing Brady back has helped, or making Brady the OC has helped. But and James Cook finally figuring out how to run the ball a little bit has helped. And their defense is playing okay, but they don't scare me. Miami doesn't scare me. Miami just beats up shit teams. They're not good at winning tough football games. And they fucking couldn't even do that against Tennessee. Wow, you beat the Jets twice. Did they beat the Patriots twice? They beat the Patriots twice, right? They beat the shit out of the Broncos when the Broncos were like, I mean, even the Jets beat the Broncos in the beginning of the year because they were still figuring out what they were.
The Broncos were a mess in the early year, but yeah, the Dolphins just got smashed by somebody. I can't even remember who. And
they got smashed by the Ravens.
It seems like they figured out how to stop McDaniel's crazy run schemes. I guess I don't know.
Well, Mostert's out, and now Achane and Mostert.
Well, Mostert's kind of resting, right? He's Mr. Glass. It's smart not to hold him out.
I mean, he definitely had like 17 touchdowns.
Oh, dude, yeah, he's been incredible because he's not on the Slam Pigs.
Right. Speaking of which, Douglas, we let's talk a little fantasy real quick.
If you want to.
I mean,
you lost.
How did you do this year?
I beat you in the playoffs in one league.
Okay.
Then I lost that division again.
Who won that division?
Oh, geez. You're excited about your 7-7 team? I was 6-8. Oof.
Yes, but who won the division?
I don't know. Jed.
And then in the other league, I lost in the championship where you didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I mean, that league is like the 24 Mets. I was like, we're going upside here, but we don't really have a chance, do we? And of course, I finished with my requisite 6 or 7 wins.
Yeah, you're like
utterly incredible. I was 1-5 or 1-6, and of course, I finished 6-8.
Yeah, you had
it's unreal.
A useless W against me, like
that league. I've never won less than 6 games. Like I couldn't tank if I tried.
You could, but yeah, you haven't tried.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't like to get draft picks for the next year. I get it.
No, it's usually because I'm just playing behind, and but no, I'm damn good on the wire, baby.
I think I was excellent on the wire this year. Some years,
I mean, we all had to be. It was just a ridiculous year. It was chaos. I'm not like even getting on people for anything this year because,
right.
Dude, like a third of the quarterbacks went down, if not more.
This NFL year, and fantasy football year.
Yeah.
Although I was slightly successful in both, in one, not in the NFL because the Jets are again terrible. It was just not as fun. I don't want to watch Jake Browning or whatever his name is, Browning from the Bengals, and fucking the 7 quarterbacks that the Vikings have started, the 4 quarterbacks the Jets have started, the 3 quarterbacks the Giants have started. It's like, there's 2 leagues.
New York football, especially, it's just been bleak.
It's been awful, man.
And it's bad when like Jared Goff is like the 7th best quarterback in the league or something. Like I made that up the top of my head, but like, you know what I mean?
I'm not going to shit on Jared Goff. I mean,
they have a great thing going there in Detroit.
They still have issues with him in tougher games with turnovers. Sure. His accuracy is not the best.
He needs a line, obviously.
No, he's got a line. He's got a great line.
No, I know, and they're playing well, but like he has to have time to function.
Yes, I mean he's a clunky
and he can't
guy.
play on the road.
No, he's
he's immobile.
Clunky guy.
Yeah,
exactly. He reminds me a lot of Vinny Testaverde, but I don't think his arm is as big.
Hey, no, speaking of big arms like Vinny Testaverde, it is the year of Joe Flacco, which is, I don't know what year it is, but it's the year of Joe Flacco. Are we ready for a Browns Niners
Super Bowl run?
Yeah.
I think.
Imagine if the Browns took out Baltimore. I mean, Cleveland would love that.
Oh yeah, that would be. It'd be par for the course for 2023-2024.
It would
NFL season, right?
Yeah.
It's been a stupid season, dude. It's been.
I in all honesty, I do hope Lamar makes the Super Bowl finally.
I think the Ravens are coming out, man.
Yeah, good.
Why do you want him to make it?
Oh, I've just always liked him as a player. He's, and he got a lot of shit. It's cool. He's proving people wrong. I mean, he's getting another MVP, right? That's.
I don't know how he doesn't.
Yeah,
I don't know how he doesn't. If they give it to McCaffrey, then that'll be a.
That's racist.
Or Purdy, yeah. I don't know. I don't see how he doesn't. He's leading
T.J.
the league
Watt.
in everything, right? He's leading the league in everything.
Yeah.
So. My question, though, it's a nice segue on that is
on the upside thing, yeah.
No.
Harrison Bader.
No. On the New York Football Giants for next year, is there a possibility that Russ is cooking in a Giants uniform?
Oh, I love it. In your scenario, would we also draft a quarterback?
I mean, I think you'd have to, right? But it could be someone like it wouldn't be a top pick, right? Because that would be like double dipping your assets because it's going to cost. It's still going to cost you 25 to 30 million to bring Russ.
So, are you asking me if I would take Russ plus like that second best Washington receiver at like, I forget his name, Anunze or something. Like, I don't think we're getting Harrison, right? But if we got that stud wide receiver we need, and then brought in
Malik
Russ,
Malik Neighbors is the number 2 consensus guy.
I read something that the guy from Washington is jumping up.
Yeah, he might be. He's also he's in the discussion, right? So
either way, I mean that's just off the top of my head, like what else we need. But
so if you could get one of the top 3 receivers and bring Russ in and ship Daniel out, and then
we're shipping Daniel out. Fuck yeah! How's that happening?
You're gonna cut him, right? So,
I don't think they can cut him till next year. I think it's a huge problem if they cut him this year. That's my understanding.
But can they do a post June 1st cut?
I think the thing with this contract, because this was a new contract this year, right? This was year 1. After year 2, they can do that.
I thought that they had structured it that they had an out after year 1.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope there is an easy way out of that, but I thought we were stuck with him for one more year.
I am going to Google this right now because I think
anyway, if you're telling me Jones is out, then that answers my question about how the money's going to work. And sure, why not?
Let's see.
If we're not getting one of the top 3-4 quarterbacks in the draft, I'd rather do that.
Let's see if he potential out 2025 2-year 82 20. Yeah. Okay. So he would need.
It's one more year, DJ.
It's one more year. So what are you going to do, man?
Which is doable. You could still draft a quarterback.
Yeah. Now you got to draft a quarterback high, right? Like that. Mm-hmm. That's probably the move.
You don't reach though.
So you want Penix? That's the guy you want.
No. I'm hoping he elevates his stock so that there's another quarterback at that tier up there. I'm not saying I necessarily want him out of the 4. Probably not. But we're going to have like 3 months to talk about who we want.
Right.
I haven't dove in yet.
And by the end of it, there'll probably be more than 3. It'll probably Penix and McCarthy and Daniels, but we got to see them all go through all this.
Yeah, I don't know if I trust McCarthy as like a top 5 pick, but we'll see. We have plenty of time. He's
probably going to be a first round pick. He's probably,
Oh yeah. No, he'll go somewhere. I don't know.
You can be an average. You can be an average quarterback, Zach Wilson, and get drafted in the top 5. So, we over evaluate quarterbacks because we want to catch lightning in a bottle.
But with Caleb and May, I mean, those seem like 2 legit ones for this year.
I don't know.
And I hear next year is not going to be a good crop.
Yeah, I don't know.
But who knows?
I haven't gone that far into detail. But yeah, so it looks like you're rolling with DJ and some drafted QB to back him up, and DeVito as your third guy. Is that?
How about DJ and like Jake Browning? Where's Jake going?
He's going to get a starting job, man.
Yeah, I guess.
I think
he could have a starting job with the Giants.
I don't think they want to pay.
No, they can't sign a quarterback yet.
Let's see what his contract is real quick. Because maybe he's not going to.
Who DJ? Jones is like 40.
Browning.
Oh, and by the way, I'm assuming he's a free agent. He might not be.
He's an exclusive rights free agent. So the Bengals. I mean, he's only making $750K. So the Bengals can hold on to him. So the Bengals might trade him, right?
Yep.
Because he's probably going to be worth a second round pick. The way he plays.
Trade him now, like while it's
right. Exactly. You can sign another backup for $750,000. Right. You can bring back. Who was the guy?
I don't know, man. Like with the Giants, God, there's so much work to do still. It's a very disappointing year. Not much else to say.
How do you feel about your defense, though? Are you digging it? You feel like it's in the right direction? Do you think Wink is going to stick around? Is there a personality?
I hope so. And there's been that personality thing all year, right? That we're hearing about it.
It must be true, right?
Probably is. And while he's saying all the right things, like I don't see why I wouldn't be here next year. It's the NFL, dude. These coaches, it's always a carousel. Plus, who knows? Maybe he gets a head coaching offer anyway. Like that's what he still wants to do. They all do, obviously, but it might be realistic for him. The defense has overall played very well, I thought, this year, considering everything. And I guess the biggest question is, do you bring back McKinney? I'm not sure.
Is that your big free agent?
Yeah, probably. Everyone else is locked up. Oh, see, we let Julian Love go, and he actually had a really good year this year. So you'd think that they might want to keep McKinney around, even though like he plays every snap. He's great. I don't know if he's like break the bank great though.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like we said, we got the whole off season. I can echo my sentiments. Like we're gonna run it all back. The only guys we're gonna replace are Becton and Brown on the O line, and pretty much anyone who's a free agent on that O line, except for maybe Connor McGovern. He might get another backup contract.
Revamp it once again.
Well, the nice thing is Tippmann, and if Vera Tucker can stay healthy, we got two guys that
you got a couple that are
playing well. Everyone else is like, we need to replace 3/5 of our line. Laken Tomlinson is absolute trash. Mekhi Becton is absolute trash. And anyone that's played right tackle for us this year is absolute trash.
I'm drinking.
All of our backup, you got some cat butthole there.
I might have to. What's the rule? If we see cat butt, I have to finish my beer.
Yep,
probably.
You're not quite there yet, but
if we see butthole, I'm holding the tail down right now.
Yeah, I don't know if that's fair. You just gotta let him do what he wants to do.
Oh, I gotta let it go.
Yes, yeah. Come on, this is free will, sir. You at least owe me a drink for the cat being in your face.
Put down your knives. Oh no, he's eating the. He's actually chewed through 3 pairs of these Shure earbuds, so I gotta be vigilant there.
Yeah, maybe you should do something about that.
Well, speaking of Jesus, we're 45 minutes in. Speaking of replacing
any sports,
speaking of replacing 3/5 of something, let's talk about the goddamn Mets. And of course, I'm talking about the rotation, but they signed a really elite defensive outfielder. Are we excited? Yes.
The masturbator.
The masturbator.
Am I excited? No, I don't care.
It's all right. It's fine.
I was very much of the ilk that we are not going to wave the white flag ever because we have Steve Cohen as our owner. I'm walking that back this year, and I think that Stevie is saying, let's get some fucking salary off. I think they went hard after Yamamoto, and when they couldn't land him, they were like, all right, fuck it.
We're sitting out the free agent market. I agree.
Right. Like we're going to clear a bunch of this cap off of our salary this year.
Yeah.
And we're going to put a underdog, maybe decent team. And if everyone returns to form, they won't be shitty. But I don't know. I don't know if they're going to sign another pitcher, man. You keep saying they are, but I think they might roll with Tyler and Kodai and Quintana. And
I could see like Hauser a Jin Ryu, maybe Sean Manaea. Cool. So yeah, I think where we differ is this, like not going to compete. I'll argue with that. This team, they're out on the free agent market. Totally with you there. But why be dumb money? Like the Mets have always been dumb money.
Right.
And by the way, we've had like some ridiculous off seasons the last like 5 years, it seems like, right? Between either like dramatic, like terribleness or like these huge splash signings.
Right.
But what I do want to talk about is like what Billy Epler did 2 years ago, and kind of bear with me on this. Remember, he signed like a bunch of guys to 2 to 3 to 4 year contracts, and that year they won 101 games. And I'm talking about the bats, and obviously they brought in Max.
The year they brought in Marte,
Canna, Escobar, maybe one other guy. Scherzer and Verlander. Obviously, we know what happened there. We got some dank prospects for paying their salary this year.
Right.
We first of all, we retooled our system. So unlike any kind of Wilpon year where there's a limited budget, there's actually all this stuff coming that's going to come either up into the team or is like powder, that like gunpowder, like keep the powder dry, use it in the trade market. I think this team is going to do something in the trade market. If not before opening day this year, that's going to rock our socks off. They can pick up money, and now they have bullets. Now maybe Stearns wants to hoard prospects, and that's cool too because that's kind of fun to root for, right? But
yes.
As far as the pitching staff goes, I'm with you. It looks like a punt there, but why would you overpay?
So I agree with you. I agree with you. I think let's talk about a couple of things you said. I agree with you on the contracts we gave, and they were short term except for Marte. And I think you had to pay Marte what you paid him.
Oh, and by the way, my argument is like I don't mind 1 year deals because the second year of a lot of those deals were shit. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. Yes. Escobar, Marte, obviously. List goes on. Remember Michael Kadire?
Yes.
So like giving multi-year deals to guys in their 30s, I don't know, man.
I agree. And I think I would like to see what Vientos and what Beatty and what Alvarez can do. But right as it's currently constituted, and maybe it's too early for me to say this, right?
Sure.
Our outfield
it's still early.
Consists of Bader in center, Nemo in left, and Marte and right, with DJ Stewart and Tyrone Taylor as our two backups.
Let's say Marte doesn't like turn to fine powder and gets through to opening day, and he's playing in the Dominican League, so I don't even.
He played and went 1 for 3 the other day.
If he can play there, I don't.
I mean, I think he's going to come back. I think we finally shut him down and just let him get enough rest. And he didn't. I looked at his stats. He lost all of his power, but he still was stealing.
He stole a ton of bases last year somehow, even with those groin surgeries. What Bader does is. Stearns obviously likes defense. Right. He's an elite center fielder. He bumps Nimmo to left field most of the time, right? Which is fine. I don't know if you care about advanced stats, but like Bader was a lot better than Nimmo was, and Nimmo was like fine. He's a fine outfielder.
Nimmo he's a league average center fielder.
Yes, but like fielding wise,
and he's only going to get worse because he's getting older. So
he was only like
going down.
Yeah, like he was propped up in center last year because they traded PCA and they really had no pipe. So I think that's why they locked him down and threw him in center. But I think the plan was always to move him to a corner.
Right.
You're going to have Gilbert and Jet coming up in that outfield.
You think Jet's going to be in the outfield? You don't think he's going to be base?
I think he'll be like McNeil. Like when he first comes up, I'm not sure where he's playing. It depends on what other guys are doing. Right. But either way, I think he will get innings in the outfield, yes.
Okay. Because Gilbert's your center fielder. I mean,
yes.
he is your Lenny Dykstra without the fucking cocaine.
Yep.
Like 40 years later.
But like trajectory-wise, like if for some reason something happens with Gilbert, Jet is going to be here soon too.
Yes. He won minor league player of the year. That kid is That kid was, you know what? So glad that we traded Kumar Rocker for Jet Williams.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That worked out real nice.
It did.
But like they might have struck out with that Parada pick. We'll see. But yeah, that Jet pick.
It's catchers always take longer though. Like Alvarez is a freak of nature. He's a generational guy.
And I think we're kind of short selling him too, by the way. Like let's not forget what he is. He's like 22.
I mean, dude, he's 22 and he's a generational guy. Like that guy is like in the Yadier Molina type mold. He's going to hit 20, 25 homers, like 70, 80 RBIs, hopefully hit 270 to 300. And he's actually playing good defense too. Yeah. That's the crazy part.
Like his ceiling, his best case is like Piazza with better defense, which is nuts.
Oh, his best case is way better than Piazza. I
mean, what's way better than Piazza at catcher?
I guess that's I'll walk that back. A more well-rounded catcher.
That's what I was saying because like Piazza
Pudge.
Couldn't throw anybody
I think
out.
He's going to be like Pudge.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's as good as Pudge with
not defensively.
No. But maybe that's why I think Yadier Molina is a good comparison.
I hope he hits more than Yadier did, but that would not obviously be a problem if he's
right.
Yeah. So one thing I'll tell you, because I don't want to be all sunshine and daisies here. I'm coming around to that whole trade Pete thing. I'm not saying do it, but like I see why maybe we want to think about it.
I think I'm not coming around to it. I do think we're going to trade him though. I feel like everything. You
think Stearns is going to clean him out?
Yeah, and I think the sad part is like I don't think he's worth as much as we. I think when we get the return on it, we're going to be disappointed.
And that was my argument for not trading him too. By the way, like what's the return?
Yeah, I mean, dude, he's 1 year and he's going to cost like $25 million. So he's got no control after this year. So whoever trades for him is going to have to pay him, or risk not paying him and letting him walk. And then what are they going to get? And so I don't know, man. I think I hate the whole situation.
I still love the guy. I hope he stays.
I hope he stays too. I mean,
I don't think I'm going to freak out though if Stearns does what you think he's going to do.
But dude, he wants to be this like Gold Glove first baseman.
Yeah,
he works hard.
He's Paul Goldschmidt though. Yeah.
No, I think he should be a DH. He's going to end up being a DH.
Oh no, that's his future.
At some point in time, and like we don't have a DH. So
the question is going to age like Pujols? Like is it going to be the Pujols Chris Davis contract, or because I can live with him as DH? Yeah,
Pujols didn't age poorly until he was like in his what did they sign? They signed him to a 10-year deal at 32
when he was like 30,
and he played well until he was like 38. They got 6 good years out of him. It was the last like 4.
I think we can get 6 out of Pete.
Yeah, so I would overpay. If I'm Steve, I'm not going to give him the long contract. I'm going to give him the higher dollar per year. $30 million for 5 years. 100. I don't know if that's going to get it done. $40 million for 5 years, right? Whatever it is. But what are you going to get for him if you trade him? You're going to get like another Luis Angel Acuna. Like, cool, but that's a huge hole.
We got a bunch of those now. Yeah.
You're leaving 40 home runs and 120 RBIs on the fucking. Who's replacing that?
Yeah,
you're gonna put Vientos at first. He's not doing.
Unless you're absolutely sure you're getting Soto next year or something, and then you can put whoever at first. So yeah,
dude.
All right, fine.
Maybe they play the year out with him and let him go to the trade deadline and see like where they're at and who's willing to buy. Because
as you said, it sucks though. That's well said. Situation does suck.
It sucks, man, because like everyone, fuck you, Chris Davis, for being like this prolific home run hitter but Pete's never
absolutely tanked
193. Yeah. Even when Chris Davis was raking, he was hitting 220, dude. Like he was never, he was an on-base percentage guy and he would hit towering shots, but he fucking never hit for average. I don't think ever.
No.
So
no, he was basically Pete Alonso. And by the way, I don't know if this matters, but the Mets were like extremely unlucky last year in batting average for balls in play. Do you know BABIP? You ever heard of that stat?
I do. Yeah,
extremely unlucky.
That's the most important one. That's the most important one.
Something to chew on, all the doom and gloom Mets fans out there.
Chris
but
Davis
look, hey, we are in a division with Atlanta and Philly. So
Chris Davis played for 12 years, and in his 12 years, his highest batting average ever was 286. His second highest was 276. He's a career 233 batting average. And
what were his OPSs?
His OPS on that year he hit 286. That year he hit 286. He won the, he was All-Star. Let's see.
Does it have OPS plus? I love that stat.
OPS plus, he was 168. OPS, he was 1,000.
That's insane.
Yeah, that was a career year, and he was probably also on steroids that year. If we're going to be honest,
what's Pete's top OPS? I'll look this shit up too.
I got it. I'm on it. So Pete Alonso, I don't think he's ever cracked 1,000. His top OPS was 941 his rookie year. And his top OPS plus was 147, but he had a 146 OPS plus last year, 2022. So, but his lowest batting average ever was 217 last year, but 231. He's a 251 career hitter. Yeah. So I don't know, man. Maybe
very unlucky last year.
There's more to it, right?
I don't know. I feel like his defense has been a lot better than advertised as a prospect.
Definitely, he's worked really hard on it.
Yeah, I don't view him as a liability in the field necessarily. So,
but
his future's DH.
Yeah, here's my thing. Like, we don't have a DH. This guy can be your full-time DH, right? For the next 8, give him an 8-year deal. Don't give him a 10-year deal. He'll be 38 at the end of it. Pay him whatever he's got to get.
I'd rather give him 7 or 8, but sure.
Right. And maybe you can't. Maybe he wants a 10-year deal or he's going to the market. He's hired Boris. So he's going to, he's going to get as much as he can. And, rightfully so. These guys, they got one shot at a big contract usually. So you should just chug that beer. You should slam it.
It's an 11% stout and it's number 2. So good luck, Jenny.
Oh, I didn't see you open number 2. I thought that was still number 1. Fair enough. You should still slam that beer. Good luck, Jenny.
This is like 3/4 full too.
I don't know, man. I mean, he's been a great Met. He's never gotten in trouble. He's never complained.
Well, shit. Now you're sounding like me last week. All right,
but that's
agree.
important.
We agree,
important, man. How many homegrown Mets that like?
It is important.
How many homegrown Mets have hit as many home runs as him? Like Darryl,
2,
David,
Darryl and David, probably. I would guess off the top of my head. Yeah, I think Pete passed Hojo and
but Hojo's not even a homegrown Met.
Like Dave Kingman, maybe.
He's not even a homegrown Met. But yeah, like to your point, like this guy, we drafted this guy. Like those are the guys that you always love the most. Like David Wright is still my favorite player of all time, just because he did everything right and he was a good Met. And like you want to talk about a contract that should have never been given, that contract.
Contract was terrible. We didn't know it was going to
be. Didn't we know his back was fucked up?
Yeah, we kind of did. That's right. David and Jose got their first contracts like the same day. Right. And then David's second contract was the one where we were like, oh. Right. Because that first contract was a bargain.
But those were bridge contracts.
They were, and they were bargains. So like David kind of did earn the money. And it's similar to what we're talking about here with Pete. When you are the guy that you just described as like the homegrown kid, that should buy you an extra year or 2 and maybe some more money. That has been my argument. If you're telling me we're getting a ton back for him, then I can change my mind. But if you're saying that we're not now, fuck it.
So what I read recently is like the return is not. It was like from the Athletic. The return is not going to be as
which as makes sense. He's expiring.
Yeah, you got to pay him. So it's not like you're getting 3 years of control at whatever his arbitration years.
You're probably going to get like a pitching prospect lottery ticket and like A or B plus bat.
You're probably going to have to take some like high upside younger guys like
and a contract.
I don't think we'll have to take a contract back, but that's why I do think this is going to play out until the trade deadline because the Mets are going to see if they're in it, they'll keep them. If they're not in it, they'll auction them off because you will get a better return at the trade deadline than you will right now. Because if you can add a 40 home run bat at the trade deadline, you're going to and you think that's going to put you over the top, you're going to pay for it.
If you're adding like a healthy Pete Alonso to your fucking lineup, that's a huge deadline.
Right. So I can tell you, we won't move him unless someone comes in and bowls us over right now. We won't move him. So it's going to be a trade deadline.
You got traded now. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a trade deadline auction if we're out of it. And if we're in it, we'll probably roll the dice and take the comp picks if we can't, or try to re-sign him to whatever we think is what we want to pay him deal. Right.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, the good news is Stevie has money and Stevie's a Mets fan. So I think he understands this hometown thing we're talking about, I think.
But he's also what I've appreciated more about Steve is that he only gets involved when he needs to. Yeah. Right? When he needed Verlander, when he wanted Verlander and he wanted Scherzer, he got involved. When he wanted Correa, he got involved. When he wanted Yamamoto, he got involved.
Are you saying like if Stearns came to him and was like, Pete's not a good investment for 8 years. We gotta get out of this. Or
I think Stearns has already said that. And I think Stevie got his guy, and I think Stevie made a lot of money listening to a lot of other people and making decisions. And I'm sure the buck stops with him, but I think he didn't hire David Stearns to like immediately fucking revoke his first like major decision as the president of baseball operations. Like, hey, you're hired. I've waited 2 years for you. We've been fucking waiting for you to come here. I did everything the right way. Oh, you think?
Pete by the way, you can't trade. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck you.
That is it. It took like an hour and 3 minutes, but that's the best point of today's show.
I hope, right?
And honestly, that's something all Mets fans should remember right now. This is an uninspiring offseason, but this is David Stern's show now. He has a little bit of a mess to clean up, and he also probably has his own idea of all these guys and what he wants to do. So I'm cautiously optimistic.
I think what I'm seeing, and I didn't think this would happen because I didn't think money was an issue, but I think what Stevie realized, and I think he kind of said this in his, I don't know what he did. He did an exclusive interview. I think it was with the Post or something, and he basically said like, when bad investments we made and we had to cut ties, and he didn't make all his money throwing good money after bad, right?
No.
So I think they want to clear the slate. They want to get below the luxury tax because that's just a waste of money. In all
it reality, is. It cost him like what? Bader's contract's $10 million, but it probably cost him like 22 with all the penalties or something.
Yeah, it was. He paid $101 million in the luxury tax this year, and he's probably going to pay it again next year. But after this year, we should be under the luxury tax, right?
That said, we were bidding on Yoshi, or did we hallucinate that? So
no,
he's willing to. Yeah, so he's willing to spend on the right guys.
And I think
I'm good with that.
I think Stearns, you said it earlier, I don't want Blake Snell. I don't want 31-year-old Blake Snell, lefty, that has had 2 great Cy Young years, and he's had like 5 other terrible years. And
he walks the world. I mean,
and he also thinks he's like, I don't know, dude. He's like this like wannabe hip hop guy. Like
he's bad vibes. I don't like those Padres.
He's very weird. He reminds me a lot of Travis Kelce.
Oh really? Yeah. I don't know him personally that well, or his personality, I should say. But what I want to happen actually is like some kind of Chris Bassett type trade. That's what I'm hoping for.
So.
Because even if we're not competing this year, this rotation needs innings for this year and next.
But why not sign like? So here's what I'd like.
We can sign some dudes.
If we're saying that if we're both agreeing that we're probably not playing in anywhere.
I think we're playing for a wild card.
Yeah, I think we're going to play for. I think we're going to compete for like a wild card. Yeah. I think we'll be better than last year because of what you just said, batting average balls in play. I think we were very unlucky this year. Pete hit 213. He's not going to hit 213.
The bullpen was ass.
Well, we had everyone throwing 94-mile-an-hour fastballs with 90-mile-an-hour sliders.
Things can change quickly in this sport. They really can.
Jeff McNeil had his worst year. Pete Alonso had his worst year. Yep. Starling Marte had injury-riddled year.
Barely there, yeah.
We had Lindor had a good year.
Beatty shit the bed.
Had a fine year. And then between Beatty and Vientos, we had 2
rookies. Lindor was awesome, by the way.
Yeah, he was awesome. He's been awesome.
He hit his 30 home runs. 30-30, baby.
He reminds me so much of Beltran when Beltran got here because
he got all shit on.
He had a rough first year, and now he's coming to his own, and he's the face of the team. Come on,
maybe we can trade him for a Zach Wheeler in 4 years.
Oh, dude, someone was talking to my buddy who's a Dodger fan out here. And he texted me the night they signed Yamamoto, and he's like, "I could see you guys trading Lindor." I'm like, "We're not fucking trading Lindor. What are you talking about?
Not trading Lindor.
We got another I think we have another 7 years with the guy.
Yeah, the Mets aren't going to do a tear down, man.
No, come on. But I think McNeil, Marte, Alonso all bounce back to at least average years, right?
And Nimmo's still a really good player.
Nimmo's still playing good. Bader is going to be your defensive.
I expect Alvarez to be a borderline all-star.
Hopefully play as long as he doesn't have a sophomore slump. That'll be great. Hopefully one of Beatty and Vientos can pull it together. And then as it's currently constituted, your DH is DJ Stewart, strong side.
Okay, so let's get to this. If we're talking one-year contracts,
weak side.
Yeah. If we're talking Mark Vientos, I'm sorry, if we're talking one-year deals, oh boy. Stout's kicking in. Who do you like? Who do you like better? If you can get 1 year, Justin Turner or the field,
like JD Martinez.
Look, I think Martinez and Soler, Reese, they all want 2 or 3 years. I don't know.
I think Justin Turner makes the most sense. He's 39 or 40 years old.
And he can play in the infield.
He can play third, and he can show Beatty some tricks. He can show. I think having that veteran guy in there
makes just to like a lot of sense.
Help
right?
these guys out. He can DH a bunch of days. He's
still you could also get like a DH that can play a little first though too. I mean, it's. But yeah, you're right. Like who's the DH right now?
DJ Stewart.
Yikes!
Fucking Vogelback light. So.
A great story with DJ last year, but they're going to get more dudes. Probably one more bat and one more starter, and I will predict a reliever or two. So I'm going to predict 4 more dudes, like dudes, not like we signed Chad to minor league.
Well, is Harrison Bader a dude or is he a Chad?
He's a dude.
Okay, so
he's a guy. Sorry, we're getting 4 guys. Yeah, I guess a dude means a little better, but.
I think we will sign one starting pitcher,
1 dude and 3 guys.
I think it'll be a 1-year deal, like an innings eater guy. It's not gonna, and I do like think Ryu. We're gonna sign. Yeah, I think it'll be Ryu. I think we'll sign a guy like Woodruff, so he can sit the year out and hopefully come back next year. And then I think in the pen we'll probably sign. I don't know. I think they've done a lot of work in the pen. I don't think they're going to do much out there. We got.
But I mean, if you wait it out and the market's not there for these guys, you might be able to get like a guy like Jordan Hicks or Neris. Like there's talent out there.
Maybe we'll see. I don't know. I don't. I am of the ilk of I don't like paying relievers. I've never seen. I've seen more relief pitching contracts be shitty than good, and like not like 2 to 1. It's like 9 to 1.
Yeah.
Like Edwin, we traded for him.
So no, that was a trade. Like and of Trevor course, he had a bad first year.
He did, and then he had a wonderful.
And then he went lights out.
Third year, and then he did what he did this year.
But you're right. Trevor May
was
Robertson. Awful. Actually, Robertson was good. No, Robertson got us.
He was good. Frankie Rodriguez was fucking awful when we signed him. K-Rod,
oh,
do you remember
Frank? Oh yeah. Frankie Rodriguez,
K-Rod. He was terrible.
Frank Francisco threw a chair at someone once.
Yeah, he was terrible. I mean, every fucking reliever we've ever given a multi-year deal
Kyle Farnsworth
has been fucking terrible. Did we have Kyle Farnsworth? I don't remember.
No, that wasn't a multi-year deal. My bad.
Yeah. Turk Wendell.
Hey, I will not accept Turk Wendell slander here. Yeah, Wendell, Cook to Benitez. Come on, man. What are you talking about?
It was always great. It was always great, man. But we're gonna sign one starting pitcher that eats some innings that sucks.
Yeah,
and you're gonna be.
I think they have to.
You might sign one more like relief pitcher that's gonna be like Johan Ramirez. Like you're not gonna know his name. Hello. Do you still have an answering machine? Is that a house phone?
Yeah, it's connected to the door. So like instead of people like my doorman calling my cell phone.
Got it.
But yeah, it is some 90s technology here.
I love it.
And there is a built-in answering machine on that fucking phone.
Right next to the VCR.
One message. Actually, the VCR is still here.
Oh man, what are you watching on the VCR?
I have the 86 Mets home video autographed by Keith Hernandez on the cover. We might have to do
Mets, go.
Yeah, we might have to do a MST3K style live stream. Yeah, dude, sing it.
Let's go
Mets.
That was my bar mitzvah song. That's what I walked into.
I believe it, and I wish I was there. I met you like 2 years later.
Yes.
God damn it.
It's all right, though. It's all right.
I'll ask Bernheim how it went.
He was the tall, lanky. He was the same height he was at 13 as he is now.
Was Rosen there or no? Weren't friends then?
No, we weren't friends then.
So it was like Lucci, Jed, and Raph.
Those 3 were there. Oh, Jed didn't come. He had like a tennis tournament, but Lucci and
typical
Raph. Yeah, yes, it was very Jed-like. But yeah, I don't know, Doug. We let's wrap this up. We've been rambling for an hour and 15 minutes, which is great. I'll
go all night. We'll put on the Mets video.
Do we want to talk about these guys at all?
Yeah, real quick. God, what an entertaining team, right? I can't figure them out. They might suck. They might be world beaters. But it's always entertaining, and it's always zero defense in the third period.
Right.
Except last night. That was good effort. And
yeah, they played hard last night.
It's really cool to have like that power play one with 3 like point per game players. Like Islanders fans aren't used to this. Like we're scoring. We're scoring, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Bo Horvat, oh my God. Let me take back all that shit from last year. Lou saw it. Barzal and Horvat are like white hot. It's a ridiculous connection, man.
And it's Anders Lee is
he's hanging on.
I mean, dude, he's still producing on the top line, and he's bringing that line exactly what it needs. Just a guy to sit in front of the crease and tip in some pucks and forecheck.
It's weird because it's like he can only play on the first line. You know what I mean? Like he would be useless everywhere else.
But it's working. And we have another like 4 years or 3 years of this. I don't know how many years we have left, but it's a lot.
An Anders deal? 2 after this one, I think. Yeah, getting there.
There's enough. There's enough years left.
God, I hope the defense, we figured this out because that's it. That's our weakness. Obviously, we give up a million shots, and for some reason, I don't know why our attack changes in the third period. And I know there's another team on the ice, and they're trying to win, but this team is going to get rocked in the playoffs in pressure situations unless it tightens up. That said, they are really dangerous. Dude, can we go back to Bo Horvat? Mm-hmm. Who knew he had that kind of release, man? You see that goal last night where he just like flicked it? And by the way, Julian Goat, the GOAT, with that flick over the high shoulder last night.
Little Simon Holmstrom-esque.
But between him and Holmstrom, man, we have some bottom sixers now that you don't have to like give They're in their 20s
a year.
Yeah.
They're making league minimum. Our entire bottom six, except
what a concept,
is pretty much making league minimum. No, that's not true. Pajot is also making money. Pajot and Casey are making a lot of money.
Well, no, Casey, Cal, and Martin. Well, I guess Martin makes
$1 million a year. He's not making much more. And Cal, I think, signed a 2-year, like $4
million. No, you're right. His money came down. I'm sorry.
They both are playing for close to league minimum. And Gauthier.
Oh, dude, he was available in September
for league minimum.
Great find.
Is league minimum. And then who's the other guy? And Simon Holmstrom on his entry level contract. Yeah.
And and everybody hated that pick. He's been great.
He's not a top line guy, but to get that kind of, that's what you need out of some of your first round picks. The guy is playing. He's leading the league in shorthanded goals. He's playing a very responsible defensive game.
He's a smart player.
He's got 10 goals. Yeah. It's not even halfway through the season. He has 10 goals and 7 shorthanded.
You got to love those Swedes, man.
He has completely replaced who Josh Bailey was for like a fifth of the price.
Production wise, they're not totally similar players, but
no, I mean, but he's playing on where Bailey would be playing. He's slotted in where Bailey would be playing, and Bailey would have been making $5.5 million this year. And he's making $850,000 this year, and he's producing more than Bailey, and he's younger than Bailey, and so we hardly knew ye, Josh.
We hardly knew ye, and let's just talk about how good Noah Dobson's been. By the way, he's an offensive force, and they're making him play 30 minutes a night because everyone's hurt, which is no bueno. But the kid has stepped up, dude. It's great.
I will say this though, Noah Dobson, great pick. I wish Wahlstrom had as much
because he's pretty much worthless now.
Yeah, he's just I don't know. We'll probably end up dealing him at the deadline if I had to guess for anything. But
it might be a very it's going to be like a random buy. It's not going to be anything big. It happens with first round picks.
It's going to be a third round pick, dude, in 2025.
Maybe, or he's just MDC to Europe. I don't know.
Right. I mean, dude, he can't. He's very one dimensional, and he doesn't really fit on this team anymore, which is the problem. So,
it just. I was thinking last night how that injury sucked last year, though, because he still hasn't had too much runway either. It's tough.
But I mean,
it's tough.
If I'm Columbus or
he's not better than Gauthier.
San Jose, I'm calling and saying,
"Oh yeah,
I'll give you a 5th round pick, 4th round pick for this guy. Slot him on your 3rd line and see what he can do. You know, he's still got a shot, man. That kid, you can't teach his release. You can't teach his wrist shot. But anyway, I don't want to spend all this time deep diving on that guy. This is what I do want to say, and then we can get going here.
No, I'm no rush.
We got 2 guys, and although they have faded over the last 2 years, 2 defensemen coming back in the next like month to 2-3 months.
Yes,
that will be ready. Get just in time to get ready for the playoffs. So even if we don't make any moves, and yes, the defense is porous right now because we're playing with Mike Riley. I think Bertozzo got hurt the other night, to be honest.
That did not look good. Yeah, he's probably dead.
Look good. Yeah, I think he has knees.
Which probably saves Aho's ass. So in terms of the roster for the rest of the year.
Aho and Baldock and Riley, Mayfield, Dobson, and Romanov right now. Then you get Pulock. And you get Pelech back.
I guess Pelech's coming back sooner than Pulock. Pulak's been put on long term, but Pelech's skating.
Both are. Well,
yeah, but Pelech I think is on the ice again already.
I mean, that's great. Yeah. And I know he didn't play well in the beginning. He had a rough year last year, but he's still a shutdown defenseman when he's on the ice. You know, he's going to make his mistakes. He's going to need some time to get up to speed, but you still put him out there against the top line every fucking time. Instead, you know, and then that opens up Dobson to play against some shittier guys, right? Like, we're playing right now with one arm tied behind our back, and we're still.
We are, and it is kind of, yeah. Like that's the thing that saved us, right? The scoring, but I mean, they are. Thank God for Sorokin. I mean, his numbers look bad, but he's like, like the slot is open constantly. Like no one's covered down low, but somehow the point's open too. I mean, it sucks watching this team trying to play defense right now. But you're right. We're missing a bunch of dudes. If you bring Pulock and Pelech back as the top pairing, that bumps every pairing down, and suddenly things look pretty good with like Riley and maybe Aho as your old school third pairing.
And we have depth. Yep. And it'll be Mayfield. Mayfield's going to stay as the third pairing.
I like Riley Aho just because it reminds me of Lubo Hickey. Well, that one year it really worked. And by the way, Mayfield has completely forgotten to play hockey. I know you think I'm being a hater because of the contract, but just like forget about the contract. Just watch him play. He's always facing the wrong direction. Like I feel like there's something wrong up here.
Since he got back, how has he played? He's only
the
back
same.
3 games, right?
Yeah, the same.
So let's revisit that in like a week or two.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I think he was injured before he went on the injured list.
That's fair.
I think he's still shaking it off. The guy's game is not speed. The guy's game is crease clearing and blocking shots. Yep. So let's let him get his legs back under him. And then let's reevaluate like at the All-Star break.
It's like mental shit though. That's what's weird. Maybe he's like compensating for something physical. But
I mean, maybe he's compensating for like.
You would think he would hang out by the net if he was hurt.
But he's also who's he playing with? I don't even know. Yeah. Is it? It's not Aho, is it? Is it Riley? Is he trying to get?
They cycle through.
Is it Baldock? Like I think he's been playing a lot with Baldock. So is he trying to cover for a
there
rookie guy?
There might be something there with Baldock. You're right, but like they don't want to lose him, but they don't really want to play him. You can totally tell that.
Right, and that's the problem. So dude, just package Baldock and Wahlstrom for like a pick.
I wouldn't be against it.
Get our guys back. Like we don't need anything. We don't. This is maybe Varlamov's hurt for a long time. Maybe we need a backup goalie.
Yes,
I don't think that's the problem.
I don't think he is.
No, he came out of the game the other night. I think we're fine. I think our forwards are fine. Obviously, if we can stay healthy, I think everything's fine. We can package those 2 young guys, get some picks, replenish, keep our first round pick this year for the first time in fucking a decade, and let's start putting some people back in the system. So,
well said.
We'll worry about that later. Let's get to the fucking playoffs.
One more thing before we go. I'm going to give you 3 players who we given 7 years deals to.
Go for it.
Mike Riley, Simon Holmstrom, Julien Gauthier.
Is Holmstrom a free agent after this year? Or
He's not. I'm kind of kidding around, but the fact that Mike Riley was on waivers and has jumped in and has been better than half our D, is a lesson for Lou. Also, good job, Lou, on the Bo Horvat trade.
A career year. He's also having a career year.
Oh, it's a small sample size, but he's better than Aho, right?
Yes.
So sorry, Seabass, but he's probably not a long-term piece. Is Gauthier a long-term piece?
Who's Seabass?
Oh, Sebastian Aho. Kick his ass, Seabass.
Right. I think why Aho is where he is that he's a system guy.
Yeah.
And he
sure.
worked his way through the system,
and he can hang out.
And in those years when we had no cap space, he was on a league minimum contract, and he knew this. He was smart enough to know the system to be in the right place. He maybe wasn't always the most physical or most gifted, but he at least wasn't in the wrong place all the time.
Can you imagine like being on an NHL team the entire season and playing 3 games or something? Like you're the healthy scratch for like the whole year. Like, what do you tell your family? I swear I'm on the Islanders. I never play, but
speaking of which, I went to the Ducks Leafs game on Wednesday night. It was like the ESPN game. My father-in-law is a Leafs fan. I don't know why.
Oh,
he's from LA, right? Doesn't make sense.
Oh God,
he's also a Cowboys fan. I don't know. You know,
so he's a loser. No, I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. Oh my God, that guy will murder me instantly, like just by looking at me.
He doesn't. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, but, I hope not.
But so we go to the game, and I was hoping to see Ross the Boss, but he was.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't play. That's right.
Healthy scratch for 3 games, but he's played most of the year. The Ducks are fucking terrible, though.
He did play against the Isles. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not a good team. They're not a fucking good team.
No, but they have like they're weird. They have Zegras and
Terry.
Yeah.
Beltrano. Yeah, they got a couple of guys. They're just bad.
They're my proxy West Coast team.
They have our old Bridgeport coach as their head coach. Greg Cronin is their coach.
Oh, Cronin. I was like, wait, Thompson got a job?
No, Greg Cronin. So anyway, all right, Doug.
Anyway, the Isles. Thank God the Isles are interesting because it's gonna be a long winter.
It has been a long and good show to catch up on the new year. This may be some of our team's years. It's definitely.
This might have been our longest episode, man. Look at that timer.
Definitely. So, what do you got to say, Doug?
Oh, I had a New York Jets via Con Dios for you, and it's a double. Not only Zach, but via Con Dios, Dalvin Cook. We barely knew you.
No, he's about to get a Super Bowl ring with the Ravens. So
yeah,
but yeah, via Con Dios. And
you got anyone?
I don't have any via Con Dios, but I'm just really, really happy that Aaron Rodgers won the Inspirational Player of the Year award for the New York Jets this year. Played 4 snaps, and
that's going to help when he gets hit with that Jimmy Kimmel lawsuit, huh?
Oh my God, that was.
How have we not talked about that yet?
Dude, that's a whole nother episode, and I think we should have your brother on for that. Tell him to start researching the Epstein, files.
He is our investigative reporter. We got to get him back.
Yeah, we need to.
We've got to give him another assignment.
Any athletes from West Virginia or Schertsville on this Epstein report? All right, buddy. It's been great. Audience, we will see you sometime soon.
Happy New Year, y'all. It's going to be all right.
All right. Awesome, man.
Oh, I